You're watching ABC4 News with Rick Aaron.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Rick Aaron. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thousands of Utahns were jolted awake by a 3.1 magnitude earthquake near Bluffdale at 2:31 this morning. It's the latest noticeable earthquake of the 106 quakes to shake the area in the last 11 days, and many residents are on edge. ABC4's Sarah Martin is live in Salt Lake City tonight with tips on how to prepare for the big one. Sarah? A tanker fire on Interstate 15 early Friday morning could continue to affect Salt Lake Valley commuters in the days or even the weeks ahead. ABC4's Rosie Nguyen is live near the interstate with an update on the Utah Department of Transportation's repair process. Rosie? Many of us spent the evening indoors watching the Patriots beat the Rams in Super Bowl 53, and for some, that meant parties and drinking. Now the Utah Highway Patrol is on the lookout for drivers under the influence and above the new .05 limit. ABC4's Rosie Nguyen rode along on the DUI blitz tonight and joins us live from Murray. Rosie? Well, 85-year-old Osvaldo Silva is suffering from cancer, and a recent fall down a flight of stairs left him paralyzed. His daughter, Flavia, knows that he doesn't have much time left, so she recently made one of his final wishes come true. Welcome back. The Sundance Film Festival brought in $151 million to the Utah economy in 2017, and no doubt even more this year. It has become the largest independent film festival in America, but in its first years, it was little more than a few films and a dream. Even our Craig Worth could get into Sundance parties in those early years. The amazing history is tonight's worth watching. Not only has the festival put Park City on the world map, but it introduces a lot of people to Utah. Sundance says 22% of all visitors to the festival are here for the first time, and each will spend an average of $3,300 a person during their stay.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy, weather rate certified 7 years in a row.
I think it would be called rain dance this weekend because not a lot of sun out there.
Yeah, you couldn't catch the sun dancing as those storms kind of rolled in.
Finally tonight, we pause to bring you the tale of today's other big game, Puppy Bowl 15.
Oh.
These wet nose guards and wide retrievers really had a leg up on the Patriots and the Rams in terms of necessary roughness.
Bow wowza, it was a good game. 93 playful pooches from 51 different rescue shelters took part in the annual Animal Planet extravaganza. At least nobody did their business on the artificial turf, right? During the first Puppy Bowl that actually happened back in 2005. Fun fact, today's broadcast was not live. They actually tape it over a 2-day stretch in October. They put up a lot more points than the two-legged players did today. Team Rough won 59-51 over Team Fluff.
Was that in Rover time?
I would guess so.
And what's coming up next?
It's not Team Rough. Are you Team Fluff?
I guess that would make me Team Fluff. The residents of the Georgia apartments were given 72 hours to vacate their units, and most say they have no idea where they'll go next, including the Gardner family. For Robert, Amanda, their daughters Sarah, Autumn, and Lita, and their cat Fluffy, this $700 a month 2-bedroom apartment has been home for the last 2 years, now for just 2 more days.
It made us feel scared because we don't know where to go.
The Salt Lake City Fire Marshal says the landlord ignored repeated requests to fix the sprinkler system, smoke detectors, and fire escapes. Now everyone has to get out. For the Gardners, that might mean living on the streets. As parents, how does that make you feel?
Hurt, angry, let down. I've never been in a homeless shelter in my life. I've always carried my own weight. You know, I'm not here because I like it here. I'm here because it's the only place I can seriously afford. Right now, I got to go rent a U-Haul. I got to put my account in the overdraft just to go rent a U-Haul in the storage unit. Affordable housing's a joke in Utah now, especially in Salt Lake. Robert
makes $17 an hour as a roofer, too much to qualify for housing assistance, but not enough to afford a decent apartment. Former state senator and Salt Lake City mayoral candidate Jim DeBacchus is working to help the Gardners relocate.
This is a family that is trying. This is a family that's working, and they're paying $700 a month rent. They've been paying for 2 years. They're doing the best they can. And now suddenly to be faced with eviction, 3 days, all of their home everything gathered over a lifetime, try to get that into storage, get deposit for a new place, get the kids re-enrolled in school. I mean, this is no way to do it.
The only thing I can focus on right now is keeping a strong face for my girls. My anxiety level is through the roof. My nerves are fried.
You're laughing, but it can't be easy.
Laughing is my coping mechanism. If I don't laugh, then I'll cry.
The packing continues tonight as Robert, Amber, and the 3 girls will be permanently locked out of their apartment sometime on Valentine's Day. Reporting in Salt Lake City, Rick Aaron, ABC4 News. Monday through Friday, Matthew Robles works in an office, but when Saturday night rolls around, he's no longer Matthew. He becomes the MK Bandit. Robles is the part owner of McNeil Engineering in Sandy and the 2018 Utah Engineer of the Year, painstakingly evaluating the structural integrity of buildings.
I make sure that they're not going to, fall over in an earthquake, or at least they're going to maintain their stability till people get out and everybody's safe. I'm protecting these people. Everybody who's involved in construction is doing the same thing. It's not just me, but that's my mentality. It's a life safety issue.
But this is his office on the weekends when he transforms into the MK Bandit, a professional wrestling villain or heel.
When I come through that curtain, I am not Matt. Matt's somewhere else, and it's MK out there. And it's kind of an interesting experience because when I have memories of it, it's almost like Matt's watching that happening. It's kind of an odd experience to describe it. It's literally getting into a different person.
And that person is?
The Federal Director of Athletic Competition, overseeing all of sports entertainment activities as appointed by Donald Trump.
The problems I have are with you, the Utah wrestling fans.
My job as a heel, as a bad guy, is to get everybody to hate me so bad that when the good guy vanquishes me, they love him. Because without Lex Luthor, Superman is just a guy that can fly.
Robles is a combination actor, stuntman, and instigator in what he describes as an interactive theater production.
Shakespeare for the masses. Yeah, it's a melodrama. The thing that I really like about professional wrestling is it's one of the last theater entertainment where the fans feel part of the event. The fans have become part of the event.
And he has a hate-hate relationship with those fans.
And you people are as ugly and as ignorant as I remember you.
I think he really sucks.
Great, that's good. That's what I want. If he would have said he's a good guy and I like the role he's playing, I'd feel like I failed. When you go out there and people are screaming and throwing things at you, you've done your job. You want that to happen. A lot of times when I'm in different places, it's dangerous. When I'm in certain places, they have to sneak me in the back, sneak me out the front, because people, they get it, but they really take offense to what it is you're doing. In other places, Albuquerque, Salt Lake, the guy that's screaming at you, wanting to kill you, that's throwing stuff at you, will come up to you afterwards and say, great show.
And don't call this fake, because Robles tells me while the moves are planned out,
you're gonna come in, boom.
The injuries are real, like the time he was lit on fire during a match in Albuquerque and suffered burns to his face.
I've been thrown off ladders. I've been punched in the face. I've been, gorilla pressed, over someone's head and thrown. I'm gonna get hurt. You just are.
His pain is pure catharsis for the crowd.
The most fun for me is when I get punched in the face. You can't walk up to the client that you hate and punch him in the face, or the guy at the store that treats you wrong. But you can hate me, I can be the embodiment of that, and you go home feeling like you just won, that you just punched your boss in the face or whatever, you know what I mean?
Robles flies all over the country to perform on weekends before returning to the other role of his double life Monday morning.
What's really helped me in professional wrestling is the professionalism I learned in engineering. What's really helped me in engineering are some of the things that I've learned in professional wrestling. It's the same management techniques cross over. So even though I may have a work product in one side where I'm punching people in the face, and a work product here is handing someone a set of drawings, you got to be professional on each side.
Matthew/MK tells me that his ultimate goal is to make it to the highest level of the sport, the WWE, and I'm not betting against him. So maybe sometime we'll see him antagonizing the good guys and infuriating the crowds on Monday Night Raw. In the studio, Rick Aaron, ABC4 News. Now at 10, sickened by their tap water and demanding answers. Residents of Sandy want to know why it took the city 8 days to tell them that their water was contaminated. And a father and grandfather gets his final wish fulfilled, to hear his favorite songs played on the piano one last time. Plus, it put Salt Lake City on the map for big-time sports and entertainment. Craig Worth takes us back to the glory days of the Salt Palace in tonight's Worth Watching.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Rick Aaron. Thanks for being with us tonight. Thousands of Sandy residents want to know why it took the city 8 days to notify them about a contamination incident that elevated the levels of lead, copper, and fluoride in their drinking water. ABC4's Sarah Martin is live in the studio with what the citizens and the city are saying. Sarah?
The city says it knew about the fluoride leak back on February 8th.
Thank you, Sarah. Switching gears now to the weather. We saw some snow this evening here at our studios. Meteorologist Alana Brophy is in the Pinpoint Weather Center with what we can expect for President's Day. Alana?
Rick, we're still dealing with snow, unsettled activity out there this live. Over to you.
Thank you, Alana. New tonight, Salt Lake City police need your help to identify a suspect in an apparent hate crime assault that happened on Main Street last night. Video of the encounter was tweeted out by Solange Knowles.
Are you gay though?
Oh, I am.
Oh, then you're gay.
Yeah, but you come.
Are you kidding me?
Twitter user Moody Sabady claims that the man later pulled out a knife before he left the scene. The SLC PD retweeted this video tonight. If you recognize this suspect, give them a call at 801-799-3000. A portion of an intersection in West Haven was closed for part of the afternoon after a semi-truck and a car collided head-on near the Interstate 15 on-ramp at 21st Street. This is video of the scene from earlier today. We are told that 2 people suffered minor injuries in that crash. Today, friends and family of Jerica Binks gathered in American Fork to mark a heartbreaking milestone. Tomorrow will be the 1-year anniversary of the day the then 25-year-old went out for a run and never returned. She hasn't been seen or heard from since. Months later, park rangers discovered this image of Jerica running on the Timpanogos Cave Trail in American Fork Canyon that was taken on February 18th. Her brother, Jed Alvey, says that weather has impacted their search efforts.
We went on some searches and stuff and turned up a few things here and there, but unfortunately the snow came and kind of kicked us out of the mountain with how much snow we got, and we're waiting for a break in the snow and for it to melt off for us to get back at it and pick up where we left off.
Despite extensive searches by volunteers on the ground and by drones in the air, there's still no clue as to whether Jerica fell victim to an accident, a wild animal attack, or foul play. A Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints missionary from Bluffdale was injured in a car accident yesterday on the South Pacific island of New Caledonia. According to a church spokesman, Elder Gordon Kimball was one of 4 missionaries serving in the Vanuatu Port Vila mission whose vehicle collided with a second vehicle carrying 3 people, one of whom died in the crash. All 4 missionaries suffered injuries, but they are all expected to recover. Family and loved ones of the 5 men killed in a workplace shooting rampage in Aurora, Illinois, gathered Saturday to remember and honor those victims. Police say that after Gary Martin was fired from the Henry Pratt Company Friday, he opened fire, killing 32-year-old Clayton Parks, 47-year-old Russell Bayer, 54-year-old Vicente Juarez, 37-year-old Josh Pinkard, and 21-year-old Trevor Werner, a Northern Illinois University student on the first day of his internship. At a small gathering at High Point Church in North Aurora, they prayed for the victims, their families, their co-workers, and the entire community. Police say a 6th employee and 5 officers were wounded, but their injuries are not life-threatening. Martin was killed in a shootout with police. Coming up, before Vivint Smart Home Arena slashed the Delta Center, the Salt Palace was downtown Salt Lake City's mecca of sports and entertainment. Craig Worth takes us back to the long-gone arena in tonight's Worth Watching. Plus, a final wish fulfilled as a cancer patient listens to his favorite Frank Sinatra tunes one last time on the piano. Welcome back. 50 years ago, Salt Lake County became a major metropolitan area when the county opened up the Salt Palace. Suddenly, there would be major conventions, big hotels, a hockey team, and a couple of years later, an NBA team. That arena is now gone, but not forgotten. Craig Worth takes us down memory lane back to the Salt Palace. It's tonight's Worth Watching.
This was the future. It was the Salt Palace. Craig Worth, ABC 4 News.
Now, that Salt Palace was actually the second Salt Palace. The first one was built over 100 years ago and featured a dance hall and a bicycle track. Craig showed us that story some time ago.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy, weather rate certified 7 years in a row.
And the weather is being a little bit salty with us this weekend. We got a little snow outside the studio tonight.
You know, Powder Hounds, this is typically one of the biggest ski weekends of the year, so they love it. I just wish it wasn't in the valley. That's kind of the route that I would go for a holiday weekend.
Where we have to drive and work and live.
Shovel it. It's been quite a winter. Conditions expected overnight in northern Utah, so you have to be careful. It's going to get icy out there.
Yeah, it can be very slippery. You know, the weather this time of year is a real trip.
Yeah, definitely. I almost fell coming in. That's why he's saying that. I know. I'm in heels, folks. Give me a break.
Yeah, glad you're okay.
Thanks.
All right, coming up, there are a lot of avenues to success, but one Utah company swam there through the Shark Tank. It's tonight's Utah Success Story.
You're watching ABC 4 News with Rick Aaron, Alana Brophy, and Wesley Ruff.
They say if at first you don't succeed, try again. In tonight's sponsored Utah Success Story, Doug Jessup checks in with a company that found the right spark and ended up on Shark Tank. ABC4.com/Utah Success Stories. Well, 85-year-old Osvaldo Silva is suffering from cancer, and a recent fall down a flight of stairs left him paralyzed. His daughter, Flavia, knows that he doesn't have much time left, so she recently made one of his final wishes come true. A single note on a piano, a request from a daughter to play the songs her father wants to hear one more time.
We're trying to focus on the positive and just spend the time that we have with him, cherishing him, loving him, doing the things that he would want done.
That note led to thousands more on Friday when Osvaldo was brought to the lobby of Intermountain Medical Center surrounded by family as his LDS Bishop Valdir Antunes played his favorite Brazilian and Frank Sinatra songs.
Music is so special because you can touch the heart of the people who is listening. It may bring them something good, something special. For me, it's so emotional. I try to play from the heart.
Seeing him get a little teary-eyed made me teary-eyed, and just appreciate the value of life and what really matters, and that's family and the support we can give them.
The melodies and the emotions touching Osvaldo and his relatives in the lobby and watching live from his native Brazil via cell phones.
So much love. I knew my dad was liked and loved, but I feel so much passion and so much compassion and care and love from all the friends and family that we have here, the caretakers. Just, my heart is filled with love. My dad is an amazing man, and I don't even have words to describe how much I love him and I appreciate him for everything he's always done for me.
The family is trying to raise money for medical equipment so that Osvaldo can spend his final days at home. You can find the link to their GoFundMe campaign on our website, abc4.com. Time now to check in with Wesley Ruff. Big day in sports as Daytona turns into evening Tona.
Man, that just kept going and going and going. Multiple crashes at the Daytona 500. Over Justin Thomas, who had this putt to tie it and missed it. So there you go. And coming up on Real Sports Live, Tony Jones is going to be in the house to talk about the Utah Jazz as they head into their final 25 games before the playoffs.
Coming up in just about 7 minutes from now. And if
ready.
Nowitzki and Wade are the old guys, what does that make us?
Really old guys.
Ancient. Stick around. We'll be right back.
UC expires at 9 a.m. It's going to be slick out there, so be careful, folks.
The purple expires or the warning expires?
Well, both.
Okay, all right.
The expert.
Coming up, it's the sport of snowmobile softball. Yes, it's a real thing, and they've got all their bases covered. Well, it's President's Day Eve, and Alana's got the forecast for when we run downstairs and open up our President's Day presents.
I feel like it's an eve to celebrate. I want to give you...
Some guys in Wisconsin aren't waiting around for spring training. They're playing snowmobile softball. Yeah, it's just like the regular game, except after you hit the ball, you jump on your sled and take off for first base.
You know who always hits a home run?
Who's that?
Dana Green. We want a pitcher, not a ball.
Play ball.
How about a scratcher? I got one of those. The weather